All early expectations of the war in Ukraine turned out to be wrong. Russia and Western countries clearly had misconceptions. Russian forces were not able to quickly get Kiev and have a swift victory. Western military support of Ukraine also was not enough to stop Russia from going forward. The economic sanctions on Russian economy was also futile, and Russia is being able to manage its economy far better than expected. Now, everyone involved have new expectations and goals, but each day people are dying. So it's important for people around the world to know, when does it end? Hello everyone, I'm Shafi and welcome to the new episode of Polit Affairs. This time, let's have a brief look to know when this war ends. Thousands of troops have died, billions of dollars in military hardware wasted, an entire city subjected to relentless bombardment, and more than 5 months after the war started, Russia's fierce military campaign in Ukraine is continuing. Forecasts on when the war will end differ widely. NATO Secretary-General has warned it could last for years, while Western intelligence agencies have reportedly said Russia's combat capabilities could be depleted in the coming month. After shifting its focus to Ukraine's east, Russia has captured nearly all of the Luhansk province and is likely to continue its efforts until it takes the rest of the Donetsk province. Together, these two areas make up the Donbas region. So as the war grinds on, what is the most likely scenario about how long does it go on? A war comes to an end either when one side manages to impose its will on the other side of the conflict, or when both sides want a compromise rather than fighting, as the cost of the war constantly outweighs any concessions to find the so-called common ground. Perhaps the latter is not very far. Nonetheless, an immediate end seems impossible. The current situation also suggests a prolonged fight, given the significant loss of territory Ukraine has suffered in recent weeks in the east, half of the Donetsk region and almost all of the Luhansk region, alongside Russia's early gains in the south. Some analysts say Kiev would lack leverage if it entered peace negotiations now. Well, it's obvious because no country is willing to negotiate when a big portion of its land is occupied. Moreover, such a scenario would not be politically justified for Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky. That would make him the president who not only lost the war, but also large parts of his country. Ukraine cannot afford to stop now because it would lose 1/5 of its territory to Russia, including vital Black Sea trading ports, the industrial and mining area of Donbas, and important tracts of agricultural land. This would make a future Ukrainian state less functional and prosperous. Putin seems to have the upper hand in being able to escalate the war. In fact, the longer the fighting lasts, the more likely it is that Western support will soften. This is what we are already witnessing as US and Europe are softening their economic pressure on Russia and also avoiding from sending strategic weapons to Ukraine. All said, this conflict will go on until both of them face stalemate. But why stalemate? Can't one of them win decisively? I believe not. Russia will need years to conquer all of Ukraine with its current slow progress. Still, it won't be able to tolerate economic sanctions for too long and to support logistics and weapons for such a prolonged campaign. Ukraine also is not likely to be able to regain control of its lost territories unless a huge tide of new advanced weapons is delivered by the West, which is not possible too. So they eventually have to sit and negotiate a peace, not in near future, but when both of them feel exhausted and not being able to go on, maybe in a year or less than 2 years. And when the time comes, it depends on Ukraine. Will Zelensky be able to give up all of Donbas region? You can answer that. I'll be glad to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and also to check out other videos on similar issues on my channel.